Welcome once again, guys, and this is another lesson of PTE which is brought to you by Sika. We are an Australian migration service providing company that offers you services and helps you with migration to US, UK, Canada, and UK and New Zealand. And we also help you, provide free student visa extension, admissions in all these colleges in different countries with massive scholarships. And we also offer free education advice if you want to change your course or if you don't know what to do after. And this is part of our free PTE and IELTS lessons that we offer to you. These PTE classes are conducted every day from 11 to 1 o'clock, and the IELTS classes are conducted from 4 to 6 every day from Monday to Friday. And my name is Ruth, and we start off with listening. So, as you might know, or as you already know, listening has 8 different types of questions, and we do not pay the same importance, or we do not consider 8 of these questions as important. So for us, we know that 4 of these questions are extremely important and 4 of these questions are not that important. And because it is even the multiple choice questions here in listening, it's a bit easier to solve because you're actually listening to the entire audio as you're toggling through the question. So it's easier to solve. So you do not have to choose the third option except for multiple answer because it has negative marking. But for the remainder of the questions, you have an option to toggle and to go through your options while the audio is being played. So it's not as difficult as the reading questions. So we have 4 of these questions which are important and 4 of this not too important. So the total listening time is for a period of about 45 to 57 minutes. And the first section, it's divided into 2 parts or 2 sections. So section 1 of listening has only one question type, which is called summarized spoken text. So you'll have 2 or 3 of these questions, and each question is for about 10 minutes. So if there are 2 questions, it's for 20 minutes. If there are 3 questions, then the section is for 30 minutes. And you're being tested for listening and writing. You're also tested for these skills. So you get 2 points for each of the skills, making it to a total of 10 points. So this question type gives you points to listening. It also gives you about 4 to 5 points to writing. So it's important to, this supports writing, so it's important for writing as well. So here, your first job is to memorize the template, which you know. So this is your template that you will be memorizing, or you have already memorized. So in each of these blanks that you see where I've put K1 to K4, so that is your keyword. So when you're listening to the audio, so what happens in this question type, an audio is played, you have to listen to the audio and you have to write a summary. So while you're listening to the audio, draw 3 lines or you make 4 columns, and you take down your keywords in groups of 4. So 4 into I think about 20 to 24 keywords at least should be found. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blanks. So this last line is optional. So there are 5 blanks. So about 20 to 24 keywords depending on the length of your audio. And you put it in separated by a comma, and before the last word you put an and. So this entire summary should be about between 50 to 70 words. So it's important to do this the best that you can. Your spellings have to be taken care of. Remember to capitalize your proper nouns. So if your nouns are your proper nouns, capitalize it. So names of people, places, university, colleges, and all that, capitalize it. Then separate them by a comma. So you'll be given 10 minutes for each of these questions. I know you've done this a million times, guys, but practice makes perfect for PTE. We try to do our best. So let's start off with real PTE. So you know your practice websites, and for students who are listening to this online, this is your practice website. So these are your practice websites. Pay extra attention to, the first 2 websites here, which these Real PT and APUNE, because these pay a lot of your reading questions have a big chance of appearing from here. So make a profile in each of these and practice hard. So, Nivedita, before we continue, because you're going to take your test soon, have you covered a majority of your reading questions from Real PT and APUNI?
Not really.
So, your goal is to finish them all up before you
Okay.
go. So that if you get them, so there is a big chance that they will appear from these two websites,
Okay.
and also be thorough with your prediction files.
All right. I'll do that.
Because it's for May. Okay, I have to. Um, Okay, so let's start off with these questions. I'm going to start with real PTE. Yeah, Gurkirat, you as well. I know I'm not calling you out because I know you're not taking a test recording again, and we'll start off practicing. So, this is the real PTE screen, and we'll start off with listening. So, I hope you have your pens and papers ready, and we'll do a bit of summaries, which we have not done before.
Let me start with.
Have you done how to absorb new memories before?
New memories?
Yeah. Have you done this before?
No.
Let me look at the text. No, we have not done it. So I'll just play this. Seems to be a small one. I want you guys to put your answers in the chat. I'll give you about 6 minutes to, along with the audio. So 1, 2, 3, and go.
Let me start with the brain and the functions of learning and memory. Because what we've discovered over the past 10 or so years is that you need sleep after learning to essentially hit the save button on those new memories so that you don't forget. But recently, we discovered that you also need sleep before learning to actually prepare your brain, almost like a dry sponge ready to initially soak up new information. And without sleep, the memory circuits of the brain essentially become waterlogged, as it were, and you can't absorb new memories.
I know it was very small. You have You have 3 more minutes left. Okay, I can see your work. Okay, both of you have done it at the same time. See, both of you took less than 5 minutes along with the audio to do it. So you've become experts. So I'll just copy this and paste it. This is about 53 words. I know that the audio was quite small. The speaker provided brief information about brain function of learning and memory. First of all, he discussed about sleep, save button, and don't forget. Secondly, he mentioned prepare brain, sponge new information. So you can put an and. Thirdly, he highlighted memory circuit, can't absorb, and new memories. To sum up, there was some information about the importance of sleep for brain. So this is no problem at all. So because you couldn't take four in groups of 4, you took it in groups of 3. So I'm checking good
Yes.
for this work. She's also around the same range. Good. The speaker provided information about brain, function of brain and memory. First of all, he discussed about sleep, save button, and don't forget. Secondly, he mentioned brain. Oh my God, is it the same? Or it's exactly the same,
It's
right?
not mine.
It's not yours? Okay. Then something wrong with me. I thought, oh, maybe I pasted Nivedita's again.
Yeah, same thing.
So I was wondering, how can it be exactly the same? Okay, sorry. I'll just copy this. I'll paste it in. Uh, the speaker provides brief information about brain, functions and memories. First of all, the speaker discussed different functions, memories, sleep, and learning. Good. Secondly, the speaker mentioned new, recently, prepare and work. Thirdly, the speaker highlighted information, brain, new memories, and working. In a nutshell, there was important information on memories, brain, functions, and sleep. Okay, this was done very well. Okay, can we do the next one? Question number 35.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and go.
A leader can define or clarify goals by issuing a memo or an executive order, an edict or a fatwa or a tweet, by passing a law, barking a command, or presenting an interesting idea in a meeting of colleagues. Leaders can mobilize people's energies in ways that range from subtle, quiet persuasion to the coercive threat or the use of deadly force. Sometimes a charismatic leader such as Martin Luther King Jr. can define goals and mobilize energies through rhetoric and the power of example. We can think of leadership as a spectrum in terms of both visibility and the power the leader wields. On one end of the spectrum, we have the most visible, authoritative leaders like the President of the United States or the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, or a dictator such as Hitler or Gaddafi. At the opposite end of the spectrum is casual, low-key leadership found in countless situations every day around the world. Leadership that can make a significant difference to the individuals whose lives are touched by it. Over the centuries, the first kind, the out in front, authoritative leadership has generally been exhibited by men. Some men in positions of great authority, including Nelson Mandela, have chosen a strategy of leading from behind more often. However, top leaders have been quite visible in their exercise of power. Women as well as some men have provided casual, low-key leadership behind the scenes. But this pattern has been changing as more women have taken up opportunities for visible, authoritative leadership.
You guys have 3 more minutes. Okay, I think Gurkirat has done it. Not, I think she has done it. So I'll copy it, paste it in here. The speaker provided brief information, so this is 56 words. Good. Information about goals, leadership, idea, and power. First of all, the speaker discussed media, deadly, disability, spectrum, and work. Good. Secondly, the speaker mentioned president. So if it's a title, my love, you have to put it in capital, okay? Any titles, any designations, put them in capital. Day and world. Thirdly, the speaker highlighted individual, centuries, Nelson Mandela, woman and man. In a nutshell, there was important information on opportunity, goals, and leadership. Well done, no mistakes. No mistakes at all. Good job, Gurkirat.
Sorry, I was moving here and there. That's why I'm late.
No problem. Have you done it?
Done.
Okay, so I'll take this up, copy it. Okay, let me copy, and then I'll paste it in. Oh, it's 76 words. So the speaker provided brief information about leader, comma, clarify memo, and so there's no comma after and. Executive order. First of all, he discussed about, you know what, you just get rid of these things when you have extra. So first of all, idea, mobilize, persuasion, and opportunity. Secondly, he mentioned, so get rid of this, deadly force, Martin Luther King Jr. rhetoric. So this is a comma, space and spectrum. So no comma after. You are indeed walking here and there.
Sorry.
No, it was in jest. Thirdly, he highlighted, so you still have two extra words, so get rid of this. Most visible authoritative Hitler and Gaddafi. In a nutshell, there was important information on situation, significant difference, and men in position. To sum up, there was information about leading from behind, women, low key leadership, and Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, is it two L's or one L? Do you know? I think it's one L.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all. And your points were good and well done, both of you. Would you like to do one more or do you want to jump straight into fill in the blanks?
Let's do one more because it's
Yeah.
let us know the time we are taking.
Yeah, you guys, if you're doing it in one go, you guys, both of you are finishing it in less than 6 minutes.
Okay.
So, including the audio, you're not even taking 6 minutes. So, I think it's a job well done. And you guys are getting better and better. So, listening is not an issue for you, except you have to pay attention to spellings and fill in the blanks. Your write from dictation is also good. You have to only focus on reading and keep getting feedback for speaking. So, whenever speaking classes are conducted, attend classes and ask for feedback. So, that's one thing that I have to tell you because speaking is the only do another maybe 100 or 120 120. Okay, at the count of three. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Emory Lovins. Who knows who Emory Lovins is? Nobody. Emory Lovins is an unusual character. He's something of polymath, just to say he sort of soaks up knowledge across a wide range of fields. He's not an academic. He has a consulting company which he runs off until he recently out of his home in Colorado. He lives outside Snowmass in a house built into the side of a mountain that has no frontlets. For about 30 years, he has been kind of iconic plastic oddball genius, thinking of ways to save energy, thinking of ways to solve problems using technology that already exist. And he has demonstrated several of them. He also offers is something that he's such an oddball that people tend to think he's kind of crazy. Anyway, Elizabeth Colbert went and spent some time with Emory Lovins, and so he's written this piece called Mr. Green.
Ruth, the voice was bursting, so I couldn't really understand what she was saying.
Yeah, so it had a bit of background disturbance. I could hear that. I'll play another one. Good Kirat, was it the same with you?
Mm, I can't say once more.
Yeah. So I'll play another one at the count of three. One, two, and three. Okay, you have heard of these, right? I know you have heard of these kind of summaries as well. So sometimes your summary, retell lecture, even your highlight incorrect words will have a background music. So
Okay.
you must have heard of these summaries where they're talking about chimpanzees and they put in all the chimpanzee cries in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
So even for highlight incorrect words, you will have it. So sometimes it can get difficult to focus with a background noise, but keep expecting such things as well.
Okay.
Okay, another thing, sometimes in your multiple choice questions, right? They are giving you multiple choice. It might not just be an audio. Sometimes they play the video as well on the screen.
Okay.
They might even play a video. So don't get distracted with all these are techniques to distract you, especially for multiple choice. I've not seen it for fill in the blanks, but for sometimes for highlight incorrect word and multiple choice, they even put up a video on the side in a small window.
Okay.
Keep expecting such distractions. Okay, so I'll put up a new one. The count of three. One, two, three, and
The amount of money drug companies spend on TV ads has doubled in recent years, and it's no wonder. Studies show the commercials work. Consumers go to their doctors with a suggestion for a prescription drug they saw advertised on TV. Now, a study in the Annals of Family Medicine raises questions about the message these ads promote. NPR's Patty Naiman reports. You are most likely to see drug ads during prime time, especially around the news. Researchers analyzed 38 ads aimed at people with conditions like hypertension, herpes, high cholesterol, depression, arthritis, and allergies. The drug industry says these ads arm consumers with information, but researchers found that though the information was technically accurate, the tone was misleading. UCLA psychologist Dominic Frosch headed the study.
What we would see in these ads is that before taking the prescription drug, the character's life was out of control. And the loss of control really extended beyond just the impact of the health condition.
For example, herpes patients were portrayed as being incapacitated for days, insomniacs utterly out of sync on the job, and depressed patients friendless and boring at parties.
When the character is then shown taking the drug, he then magically regains complete control of his life.
None of the ads, of course, mentioned lifestyle changes that could also help treat the condition. After all, it's mass marketing. But in this case, Frosch says, prescription medications are not like soap.
Okay, Gurkirat, you took about less than 5 minutes. You took 5 minutes, 5 minutes and 20 seconds or so. So just copy this. 61 words. The speaker provided brief information about amount of money, work, consumers, and doctors. First of all, the speaker discussed advertisement, family message, and drugs. And secondly, the speaker mentioned news, 38 ads. When you're writing in your summarized spoken text, you remember the checklist, no short forms. So always write advertisements, even if they are telling about uh, ads, you just write advertisements. Will you remember that? You remember the checklist? Industries and industries. Researchers. Oh, you have other words. That's why. Okay, sorry. Industries, researchers, and misleading. Thirdly, the speaker highlighted impacts on them, patients, depression, life, and conditions. In a nutshell, there was important information on advertisements, drug control, and changes. Good job about this. So there's no need of comma here. Just one word and changes. Okay, that's perfect. No using short forms because the reader or the computer may not know what you're talking about if you just put in ads. So please make sure you remember the checklist, right? Do you remember that? Have you received it? Gurkirat? You can even chat if you can't speak. That's okay with me. Okay, so remember that. Fine. Nivedita, you are aware of the checklist too, right? No short forms, no.
Yeah.
Words. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I wrote the numbers in words, but I forgot about writing advertisement because she was saying ads, so I wrote ads.
yeah, so such are the rare cases where they use such things. Okay, one more thing. Numbers is numbers, fine, no problem. Even if you write numbers in digits, that's okay, no problem at all.
Okay.
The speaker provided brief information about amount of money, work, consumers, and doctors. First of all, the speaker discussed advertisement, family messages, and drug ad. So there are two spellings for advertisements. You can either put it as adverts like this or advertisement as this.
Okay.
Secondly, the speaker mentioned news 36 advertisements. Okay, good that we did this, right? So that we recalled this.
Yeah.
Industries, researchers, and misleading. Thirdly, the speaker highlighted impact on them, patient, depression, life, and conditions. In a nutshell, there was important information on advertisements, drug. So drugs control is one word and changes. So this is perfect, no problem at all. So that's the only small that's just to recall what you had already knew or known. So having this, would you like one last one before we move on to the other question types? Let's do one last one and then we go on to fill in the blanks.
Okay.
At the count of three, just a random one. 1, 2, 3, and go.
I had been writing nonfiction for years, actually, but secretly wanting to be a novelist. When I first started writing at the age of 30, it was with the intention of writing fiction. But I took a little detour for 10 or 12 years and wrote nonfiction, which I have absolutely no regret about at all. I think it was exactly the right thing for me to do. But there was that dream tucked away inside of me to do this. And I remember reading something that Eudora Welty wrote, who is, the great novelist from Mississippi, who had a big influence on me, actually. She said, "No art ever came out of not risking your neck." And I think she's absolutely right about that. It felt that way to me at the time, and actually it feels that way to me every time I sit down to write something. Finally, in the early 90s, I took my deep breath, started writing fiction. It felt risky to me at the time to do that. One of the very first things that I wrote was what I thought was going to be the first chapter of a novel called The Secret Life of Bees. I wrote it in 1992, and it is actually essentially the first chapter of the novel as it is now.
Guys, since we decided for 6-7 minutes, you have about 3 to 4 minutes left. So, Gurkirat, I'm copying your work. Control C, Control V. 52 words. The speaker provided brief information about Secretly, Novelist, Inside, and Life. First of all, the speaker discovered novels reading 10 to 12 years and early. Secondly, the speaker mentioned Finally, Time, Wrote, and Life. Thirdly, the speaker highlighted 1992 and female novel 1992 and female. In a nutshell, there was important information on novelists, reading, and secrets. Good. So 10 to 12, you can just put in 2 here. It's not a mistake or something, just to make it seem a bit more formal. That's all. But this is good. Perfect. No spelling errors. Nivedita, I'm copying your work. I'm putting it down here. 52 words. No, this is not yours, right? So this is your work. Copying it, putting it down here. The speaker provided brief information about writing fiction secretly, a novelist. First of all, she discussed about age of 30. Is non-fiction a hyphenated word? Are you sure? I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So non-fiction dreamer and remember. Secondly, she mentioned about great novelist, great influence, no art. Never came out and felt. Thirdly, she highlighted every time right, sometimes early 90s and risky good. In a nutshell, there was important information on road. First chapter, Secret Life. So if this is your last word, you should just put an and. To sum up, there was important information on 1992 and novel. So this was done well, but it has 74 words. So what we do is we take out all this. First of all, age of 30. Then secondly, great novelist. Thirdly, and in a nutshell, there is important information on growth, first chapter and Secret Life. So sum up. Okay, this was done well. So let's start off with fill in the blanks questions. So because you might have done the first few, I'll start maybe from the last or something. So you know how to do this, right? Eyes on the screen, hands on the paper.
Morality.
Your ears would be listening, and without taking your eyes off the screen, you write down your words one below the other, and then you enter it in. The time that you can give yourself for each of these questions is a minute to a minute and a half. Okay, so check your spellings, pay attention to the form of word, whether it's in the past tense, present tense, singular or plural form. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and go.
Global warming might seem like a botanical boon. After all, milder temperatures and more carbon dioxide and nitrogen should feed flora. But a 10-year study has found that any initial positive effect on plant growth from climate change may soon disappear. The report is in the journal Nature Climate Change. Researchers transplanted vegetation from 4 grassland ecosystems to lower, warmer elevations. They also modified the precipitation at the transplant sites based on altered rainfall estimates. For the first year, the plants did great, producing more biomass and churning out more oxygen for us. But their productivity went down for the rest of the decade. What happened? Warming did speed up the nitrogen cycle, which should have increased nitrogen's availability as plant fertilizer. But a lot of the nitrogen left the soil through runoff or uptake into the atmosphere. In addition, productive native plants began to lose out to species that thrive at higher temperatures but are less productive than the natives. Warmer temperatures may spur immediate growth, but in the long term, we can't expect plants to like it hot.
Okay, Gurkirat has written it. Okay, first one you couldn't hear. Okay, because of the background, I think. So let's look at the answer. The first one was botanical. Okay, second one was ecosystems with S. So you have to pay attention to S, but it's one word. Well done. The next one is oxygen. The next one is availability. Availability. And the last one is uptake. Okay, so the last one is expect, uptake, uptaken. So was there a disturbance when this was playing, or was it too fast?
No, the music and everything. It was fine.
Yeah, there will be one at least like this. Okay, both for your summarized spoken text as well as fill in the blanks. You will also have this background when you're doing your retell lecture. Okay, so keep expecting audios like this. Let's do one more. Eyes on the screen. Put your hands on the paper. 1, 2, and 3.
Americans still fall short of the recommended daily portions of fruit and vegetables, and kids are notoriously averse to veggies at the school cafeteria. So researchers tested whether visual cues of healthful foods could increase consumption at a grade school with 800 students. First, the scientists determined how many kids put carrots and green beans on their trays and how much they ate. 3 months later, they did the same analysis, but on the second day, the trays had pictures of carrots and green beans in the trays' compartments. On the day with the photo cues, more than twice as many kids took green beans as on the control day, and more than 3 times as many kids took carrots. Average consumption per student went up as well. The study was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. The researchers note that the effect needs to be tested elsewhere for longer than 2 days, and the amount of veggies eaten still didn't meet the government recommendations. But if pictures of burgers can sell meaty meals, maybe fresh fruit and veggie photos can play a part in the campaign for healthier kids.
Okay. Second one was studied, is it? No idea. Let's look at it. Yeah, it is studied, I think. Oh, tested. Okay, the first one was hours. Hours, which means they are allergic, they don't like it. The second one was tested. Third one was determined. Fourth one was consumption with P. The next one was association. The last one was recommendations with S, and then campaign. Nivedita, you missed out the first two words.
No, I wrote it wrong. Where on my paper I wrote it right, but when writing down there in the chat, I did it wrong. I wrote averse as well.
But you didn't fill it in, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Gurkira, the second last one you couldn't get, is it? That was recommendations. Okay, one more thing. Before your blank starts, you will have about 7 minutes before the audio starts. So in your 7 minutes, take a look at the position of the blanks so that some blanks are very closely placed, some would be far off. So you can take a look at the position of your blanks. There is no time to predict what the answer would be, so don't worry about all that.
Okay.
So let's do another one. 1, 2, and 3.
Music, film, and video game makers face a new online digital world, and some are testing a revolutionary pricing system, pay what you want. But a new study finds that when consumers can name their own price, many opt out of buying at all. The study is in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. For the research, tour boat passengers posed for photos. Each boat ride announced a price of $15 per picture, but they then charged either $15, $5, or the option to pay what you want. As expected, the fewest tourists purchased photos when they had to pay full price, but more customers bought photos when they cost $5 than when prices were pay what you want, which could have saved passengers even more. The researchers suggest that choosing to pay less than an announced, lower than expected price made people feel cheap. With choices then limited to spending more money or feeling like a tightwad, potential customers simply opted out of the purchase. So on sea or land, a low set price may catch the most fish.
Okay. Let's give it a little more time until Gurkirat posts her work.
I posted as well.
Yeah. Oh, did Gurkirat post already?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. I was just waiting for her to do. All right. The first one is revolutionary with Y. The next one is consumers with S. And both of you got it. Expected is the next one. Tourists with S is the next one. And the last one is potential. So, Gurkirat, this is your challenge, I think. Out of all the questions, this is your challenge. So let's do one more. Eyes on the screen, hands on the paper. And 1, 2, and 3.
As it ages, white paper turns a distinctive yellow. But why? To find out, scientists artificially aged modern paper to reveal the changes on the molecular level. The research is in the journal Physical Review Letters. For 48 days, 3 unbleached paper samples aged rapidly in reactors that simulated different environmental conditions. The researchers then compared the artificially aged samples to the real deal, 3 pieces of paper crafted in 15th century Europe. This technique allowed them to gauge the types and amounts of changes going on. About 90% of the weight of old paper is cellulose, the sturdy material that makes up plant cell walls. But over time, cellulose fibers oxidize. The process modifies parts of various molecules and turns them into what are called chromophores, which absorb light. White paper is white because it reflects all colors of light. Aging paper filled with chromophores reflects wavelengths that make it look yellow. The non-destructive technique used in this study could inform research to preserve and even whiten ancient texts and art, and give paper conservation a brighter outlook.
Okay. Maybe it's posted, right? Okay, well done. Let's look at our answer. The first one is distinctive. The next one is samples with S. The third one is artificially good. Next one is material. The last one is modifies.
Next one is technique after artificial.
Yeah, artificially. And then the next one is technique. The next one is material, modifies, and preserve. So keep practicing this, guys. So you have the potential to get 100% for this. So just need, I don't know what is the disturbance. Is it disturbance or is it because, it's from another computer? It might be a bit difficult to comprehend. Anyway, try and practice this. When you practice it by yourself, I would expect you to try and get 100% of it. So let's do a bit of write from dictations now. So you know the drill. I'll be playing the audio. You will listen and type in your work, and I'll display the answers. So listening, write from dictation. Sorry. So I'll start playing from the end because you would know right from dictation.
And in that regard, as well as
that was not your work. I mean, not your question. So I'm going to take it from the end. Okay, maybe I'm 500. Ready? Okay, 1. So listen to the audio, repeat, take down initials, complete your initials, type it in, and proofread. Please repeat so that you'll not miss out anything. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and go.
you can contact all your tutors by email.
Someone is not repeating, someone is not writing initials, you're simply typing it. So listen.
No, I did the initials.
Listen. Okay, we'll wait for Gurkirat, then I'll display the answer. Okay, both of you have done it. So this is your answer. You can contact all your tutors by email. Well done. So let's do the next one. 1, 2, 3, and go.
She received a scholarship from the state university.
Okay, so this is the answer. She received a scholarship from the state university. So let's do the next one. 1, 2, 3, and go.
She began by giving an outline of the previous lecture.
Well done. So this is your answer. She began by giving an outline of the previous lecture. So she again giving a something after a lecture. So be careful when you're listening. Let's do the next one. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Scientists here are studying a wide variety of atmospheric processes.
Good job. Just waiting for good Kirat to take your time. Just want it to be accurate. You can spend about 2 minutes per question. Gurkirat, you didn't get this? Okay, you got it. Okay, so this is the answer. Scientists here are studying a wide variety of atmospheric processes. So you can put in an extra word for scientist and scientists if you have a doubt. Then here are studying a wide variety of atmospheric processes. So you're allowed to put in extra word 1 or 2 before your full stop. Ready for the next one? 1, 2, 3, and go.
Scientific beneficiary to space exploration is frequently questioned.
Good job. Good. So let's look at our answer. Our answer is scientific beneficiary to space exploration is frequently questioned. So let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, and go. Sorry. Now 1, 2, 3, and go.
Get enough sleep the night before the test.
Okay, both of you got that. That was good advice. So get enough sleep the night before the test. Good job, 100% both of you. Let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, and go.
We support the research on problems related to tropical cyclone dynamics and forecasting.
Okay, so this is the answer. We support the research on problems related to tropical cyclone dynamics and forecasting. Nivedita, why tropical in capital? By mistake, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do one more. 1, 2, 3, and go.
We study science to understand and appreciate the world around us.
Okay. Just waiting for Gurkirat. Take your time. Okay, so this is the answer. We study science to understand and appreciate the world around us. So let's do one more. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Reference of material is held in the hall of the library reference desk.
Good. So, both of you have done it. This is your answer. Reference of material is held in the hall of the library reference desk. Held in the hall of the library reference desk. So every word that you write, you get a point to writing, and you get a point to listening. So, and start with capital, end with full stop. Even if you begin it from the middle of the sentence, you don't get the first three words. You're starting from is, even then start with capital and end it with a full stop. So let's do a bit of highlight incorrect words now. Guys, please keep practicing right from dictation. Both of you have the potential of getting it 100% right. I'm not talking like a school teacher, but you both have the potential of getting 100% right. So practice it like crazy people every day, about 30, 40, 50. Keep practicing, and when you're doing it, always repeat. So you're double practicing, repeat sentences and write from dictation. So that's the reason, repeat it. Okay, let's do some highlight incorrect words. You can still see my screen, can you?
Yep.
Okay, and you should also know that this question, highlight correct summary, gives you points to reading. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So this gives you points to reading. Okay, good. So let's start off with highlight incorrect words. Eyes on the screen, and you should keep moving your mouse when you're doing this in your test. So move your cursor along the line when you're doing it, and then when you spot a word that is wrong, click on it and highlight it. So if you, after moving a bit, if you feel of a few words ago you had lost one word, don't immediately go back and change it. Continue till the end, finish it, only then go back to the word that you think you have missed out. Because if you go to solve it, your the speaker is continuing to read, you'll miss out other words. So this has negative marking, and unless you're very very sure, don't mark it. Okay, it gives you points to reading. Even this gives you. So how many questions here? So you get points to writing from summarized spoken text, you get points to writing from fill in the blanks, you get points to reading from highlight correct summary. Even though that's a multiple choice question, you still get points to reading from highlight correct summary. You get points to reading from highlight incorrect words. You get points to writing from write from dictation. So in listening, two questions have negative marking. Multiple choice, multiple answer has negative marking. Highlight incorrect words have negative marking. Any doubts?
No.
Okay. So let's start off with highlight incorrect words. We'll do 2 or 3 and then we'll close for today. So eyes on the screen. This is not your audio. I'll take something that we have not. I'll take something that we have not done before. So I'll try to take it from the end. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, and go.
I think the importance of creativity today really reflects a fundamental shift in the nature of the economy. You know, in the old days, wealth was created because in the industrial era, you manufactured something, you got economies of scale, you had long production runs, you were really efficient. You know, you could get a Model T any color just so long it was black, right? So there was standardization. And there was a whole set of assumptions about how to manage, how to create an organization, you know, a typical kind of hierarchical organization to make sure that things ran smoothly. Well, that may be great for a relatively stable era of history, relatively stable, but now things are fundamentally unstable. And so we need less economies of scale and more economies of discovery, which means that the management approach, the organizational approach has got to shift as well.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready, or you can type in your words if you've noted it.
First one is rift.
First one is rift and shift. Okay. Next one.
Then everything.
Everything. Okay.
Then effective.
Effective.
Centralization.
Centralization.
Functionally unstable.
Okay.
And then recovery. Yeah.
Okay, I think Gurkirat has also posted the answers. Rift, could, and ran. Okay, let's look at the answer. The first one was rift, then standardization, fundamentally, and discovery, -1, -1. Did you tell this, or?
No, I
We just
didn't say
missed
that.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, we missed this, so there's no negative marking. So we did everything and effective. Okay, so unless we are sure, we don't mark it. Okay, try and practice this at home by yourself as well, so that you know how to move the cursor, how to click. Suppose you've already clicked something, you want to unhighlight it, click on it again and unhighlight it. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3, and go.
The UN Charter comprises a preamble and 19 chapters divided into 111 articles. The Charter sets forth the purposes of the United Nations as the maintenance of international peace and security, the development of friendly relations between states, and the achievement of cooperation in solving international economic, social, cultural, and humanitarian problems. It expresses a strong hope for the equality of all people and the expansion of basic freedoms. The principal organs of the United Nations, as specified in the Charter, are the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the Secretariat.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Sets out.
Sets out, both of it?
No,
or?
sets out.
Okay.
No sets.
No sets. Okay.
And civility,
Which is
Yeah.
now
Same.
civility. Okay.
Yeah.
ecology,
Same.
Check. Okay.
ability,
Same.
Which one, love?
Ability.
Okay.
yes,
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so let's look at it. Out and forth, security and civility, well done. Ecologic and economic, well done. Ability and equality. Let's do one more and then we close for today. So 1, 2, 3, and go.
French, on the other hand, is a highly centralised language, with the Parisian accent setting the standard for the world. If other French-speaking political entities had risen to rival France, the situation might be different. If, for instance, Quebec had remained a separate country, or if Haiti had been a larger country, then perhaps other French dialects might have become more accepted.
Gentrified, as you have mentioned.
I forgot.
then ability,
Dissident.
Dissident, that was different, right?
Yeah.
Abilities. Then,
And one more is
Entity.
entity.
yes, entity as well. Is that all?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, the first one was centralized, next one was entities, different and dissipient, and this separate entity. So, guys, before we close for today, is there anything else you want to practice? Anything that you want to ask me? Anything that you would like to know? Now is the time. I'll give you, take your time. Just let me know if you've got any doubts. You can type it in chat, or you can ask me directly. Doesn't matter.
Right now, I had a doubt, but I forgot what it was.
Was it in the fill in the blanks?
No, the previous thing,
Summarize spoken text right from dictation.
right from dictation.
Okay, so every word gives you points to writing and listening. If you if you have a doubt, write in an extra word.
Mm,
So write in your extra word after you write your original sentence, what you intend to do it, then put your extra word, then put your full stop.
yeah.
Then pay attention to singular plural. Out of so if you're looking at band 8, 3 extra words. That's all, not more than that.
Mm.
What else should I tell you in write from dictation? Um, Spellings are important, that you already know.
Capitalization rule is also important, I guess.
Yes, capitalize. See, when you capitalize, you're not getting points directly to listening and writing, but your
Mm.
grammar will improve a lot, and it gives
Okay.
you to your total score. So people who get 90, 90, 90, 90 do all these works, and that's why their grammar and everything gets on.
All right.
Good,
So it
Kiran.
will not reduce my marks, but
No, no,
okay.
it won't reduce your writing or your listening points.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gurkirat, according to you have to work on. I told this before also. See, this your biggest challenge is your fill in the blanks. Okay, biggest challenge is fill in the blanks and write from dictation. You also need to work on reading questions. So focus on reading from APUNI, reading questions, reading blanks. You're good at your reorder paragraph. You don't worry about that. But your reading questions from fill in the blanks, both your fill in the blanks, at least 3 out of 5. Okay, that's your goal. So I'll put this in 3 out of 5. I'm writing in the chat so that you can see it. Then so this is what you have to work on. Okay, I'll tell you your strengths, what you're good at. So your strengths are your speaking is perfect. Okay, your summarized spoken text is good. Text is okay. Then your writing is good. So this is your strength. So your weakness is only these 3 questions which you have to focus on. Having said that, even though speaking is good now, you have to keep on working in the same way, keep on getting feedback. So your feedback is the most important thing. Suppose you do not have a way to get feedback, even you listen to it and ask someone to listen to it and give you your feedback based on those the things I've given you in the checklist in the daily plan. See if your content is okay, if your tone is flat. But this is important. Speaking feedback till you finish your PTE, you need feedback for speaking. So these are your strengths and your weaknesses. You have to work on fill in the blanks, listening, write from dictation, and reading fill in the blanks. Your repeat sentences, describe image, read a lecture, or summarize spoken text. The rest of your important questions is fine. You don't have a problem with it. Anything else? Did you remember your doubt, Nivedita?
Yeah, I said ask you the capitalization rule,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will contribute only to grammar. It won't give you points directly to speaking or to writing. But
Okay.
if grammar goes down a lot, then it'll affect everything that concerns with grammar.
Okay.
So your goal is to keep all these enabling skills above 70.
Mm.
So because there is a big chance that they will fall down to 50 sometimes. So
Okay.
I have seen students with vocabulary 50, 53 or 51, and they get their communicative skills okay, but somewhere, they'll be on the borderline. So make sure your
Mm.
enabling skills are all above 70, always.
Okay.
Um, okay, good. Kirat has one more question. Can you send me the checklist on email? Checklist for listening questions, you mean? What checklist are you talking about? Is that the listening question? No symbols, no short forms, no examples and questions. Is that the one you're talking about? The one that we just discussed. No short forms, no symbols, no examples. The one? Okay, I'll send that over to you. So, anything else? In speaking, you know what to do. There are 5 different types of questions. You know that there are 4 important questions. You know you have to not keep quiet for 3 seconds. As soon as you finish speaking, you click finish. Don't finish and click at the same time. Your content will be lost. So
Okay.
finish your speech, breathe in, breathe out, and click finish always for your speaking questions. You know what to do for answer short questions. You know that you have to practice your repeat sentences from wherever you can, from YouTube, your career course, from Language Academy, from Real PT, from Ape Uni. You practice your repeat sentence wherever you can find them. As you're practicing repeat sentence, if you can, if you have time, practice right from dictation so that your skill is fixed. Then describe image, you know that you should speak fluently. There shouldn't be gaps between your keywords. So when you take down 12 keywords or so from the image, I can see this, and this. No, there should not be gaps. So you should speak like a sentence. Read a lecture, you should speak like a sentence. Then for your listening, you know what to do. Then for your writing, you know absolutely everything. You know you have to take down 6 positive keywords, 6 negative keywords, put them in, doesn't matter. Then only be careful about your spellings. Put your topic sentence inside quotes, because many people are recommending that. That's working. Please do that. Then when it comes to reading, reorder paragraph, try to get at least 1 pair. Fill in the blanks. Nivedita, you should try and get at least 4 out of 5, and
Okay.
just one error is allowed. Keep it like that because that'll help you. And Gurkirat, at least 3 out of 5. So keep it like that. Pay attention to read aloud content because that's also giving you points to reading. Then when it comes to listening, we just spoke about listening questions. Highlight incorrect words has negative marking, so pay extra attention to that as well. Mm, yeah, so there would be background. There will be short summaries, short lectures for both summary as well as retail lecture. There is going to be short audios, at least 1 out of 3. There will be short audios. So keep expecting very short audios, which is only about 40 seconds, 45 seconds long. You will have such very short audios as well. In that case, be it for retail lecture or be it for summary, repeat the same keywords over and over and over. So when I took my test for summarized spoken text, my audio was so small. I had this vitamin D1 and it was really short. So what I did was I took down keywords and I couldn't complete 70 words. So what I did was I put in my own ideas. I mean, there will be some words which I'm not taken down, but it will be remaining in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah. It
So I
happens.
just put that in and I completed it. So for Nivedita, try and go as much as you can to 70 or to the maximum word limit.
Okay.
You are good at grabbing keywords and phrases. So do a combination of both. That will help you. Uh, because we are putting in only keywords, there is a chance that our grammar will not be perfect.
Mm.
So that's why you should be careful about your capitalization, about those compound words and all, because you don't want your grammar to fall down really low.
Okay.
What else should I tell you? That's all. So, guys, if you need me for anything, any point of time, let me know. I'll put in I'll put in my number here because it's just us. So I just put it here. I have given it to Nivedita yesterday. Gurkirat, I'll give my number to you as well. Any point of time till you take your PT, if you need me for anything, send me a WhatsApp or a text or an email. I'm there to help you out. Having said that, sometimes I might be like crazy busy. In that case, I might delay, but I'll definitely get back to you. Okay. So that's all for today, girls. Hope you have a lovely day and all the best with your test. It was a pleasure, um, teaching you both. So,
Same here. It was a pleasure having you as PT teacher.
So I'll see you around. Keep in touch, and Gurkira to you as well. So when your teacher comes in on Monday, please come to class. Please help her out till she has a rapport building up. So I'll see you guys around. Have a lovely day. Oh, I got a chat.
Yeah.
Okay, take care. Okay, bye.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.